Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Happy belated birthday if it's in the past. Happy future birthday if it's in the future. My name is Lime Green, and welcome back to the Out of Time podcast. Last time we did the Fire Temple, and this time we're doing not the Fire Temple. So let's just pick up where we left off. Normally when you do a temple, you go back to the Temple of Time, and then Sheik's there, and Sheik's like, very good, and then Sheik goes like through a whole wise antidote or whatever, gives you wise words, but Sheik wasn't there. That was kind of weird. So I went right outside. I was like, this is going to be the time I get Epona. And I hustled down there, and I lost 2 more times to the Waluigi guy. And the last time, he beat me past the finish line. Like, I was ahead of him, and then he snuck past me, like, when I was already past the finish line, and he won. I guess he makes the rules like it is his ranch, but I don't know. I ran out of money, so then I was like, alright, let's go Kakariko, see if I get anything cool and new. And I got the Shard of Agony. It helps you find secrets. The music is going crazy. I haven't really found any secrets with it yet. So I was like, okay, let's go see. I'm like going through. Alright, let's go see our good pals, the Zoras. So I went down there, and it took me a second to realize that the water was frozen, because I was just kind of like, oh, mind my own business, as you do. And it took me until getting up to King Zora, I was like, whoa, everyone is frozen. I was like, there's an ice level in Ocarina. I did not know that. Who talks about the ice level? I was getting really excited. So, you kind of go outside there, and you like jump from platform to platform. That is cool. This is like the cool part of the game. But my question for you, Ocarina of Time players, like, where does Jabu go? They talk about him. They get really awesome reviews of him, but then he just disappears. I don't know. Then you gotta get like a heart piece on like a little block of ice. Then I got stuck because there's like this silver rupee puzzle, and there's like a spinning blade of ice. I was like, oh, I guess I can't really go any further. So I went back. And I was like, alright, time to... This is the part in real life I got like stuck. I was like, I'll do it another day. So I went I went to McDonald's. I have this in the notes. I just wrote McDonald's. So I tried getting Epona again. And, you just got, every once in a while, you throw out a couple more tries couple more 50 rupees, throw it down in the pyramid scheme that is the Lawn Ranch mini game, and I won with the luck of the chicken nuggets. The McDonald's luck came through. I finally won Epona. Let me tell you, it was the most magical moment, and that's not McDonald's telling me to say it. It was like, you know how they say N64s were at McDonald's? That's what it felt like. It was crazy. It was crazy. And you can't do that with a regular N64 nowadays. I guess you can do it with the Switch. So I hustled back to Zora's Domain. I forgot what it was called. And I was like, whoa, I missed a silver rupee. And then there's like these blue fire puzzles. That was kind of cool. I was like, is this the dungeon? That would be kind of short. And then you free King Zora. And he's like, here's a Zora tunic. Now you can't drown. I'm not really sure what, like how that even works. Then you get like a heart piece thing underwater. Then you gotta push a sliding puzzle while you're sliding. The music. But you know me, I'm an Ice Path veteran. I'm a Pokemon player. That was easy peasy for me. And then you get in there and there's like a wolf fight in an ice cage. It's just like one wolf. That was kind of weird. And then you get the iron boots, which, you know, you got, you know, where's Matt Pat? Kind of questions, like how Link carries them and not wears them. Sheik appears and Sheik's like, Zoras are sealed under a thick sheet of ice. I've only freed Princess Rudo. Then she teaches you the Serenade of Water, which is another song that nobody talks about. And so I freed Zora Shopkeeper, and it's like, you can buy another, why do I say things like this? Another Goron and Zora tunic. Why? Why would you do that? Why? Tell me in the comments. I honestly really want to know. So, you know, I've played Twilight Princess. I've beat that game. So you just put on the iron boots and you go underwater. You know, plus points for this section of the game. There's no music, only distorted sounds underwater. That's a little attention to detail. So you go in the dungeon, or temple, or whatever you want to call it. Princess Rudo is in there. And Princess Rudo's like, oh, you know, remember when we're supposed to get married 7 years ago? I wasn't expecting Princess Rudo to be in here. I guess I should have expected it, because Darunia was in that temple, and Zarya was in the other one. You know, I guess I was more like excited to see the Gorons. It felt like they were helping out. I don't know. I guess they really weren't, but I saw more of them. And then Rudo's like, I'll go ahead. And alright, let's get in the meat of this. There's a crack in the wall. And alright, so the early part, I wrote there's a crack in the wall and all the items don't work. And that's me writing, or, you know, figuring out the early parts of this dungeon. So, let me just come out and say it. Let me show you this thumbnail. So, this temple, it started off really fun. First off, it's like a combination of you using the iron boots and you know, swimming and taking them off. I didn't write a lot of notes, so I'm kind of freestyling here. Because I was concentrating on, you know, not going off the guide or a guide, and I did pretty well, I want to say. And you gotta play Zelda's Lullaby to like a wall, and that raises the water level and lowers the water level, and you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. And then once you get up to the top, then yeah. It's, how do I say this? What? I guess in the N64 version, it was, everyone had trouble because, you know, you had to go into a menu to equip the iron boots. My problem was just finding out where to go and where is the keys. 'Cause like, so I was up at the top, like the tippy top, the water level was at the tippy top, and I forgot or didn't know where to get 2 keys, and I was like running around, and it is impossible to get 2 keys when the water level is at that point, and I didn't know where or how to lower the water level, because I had never lowered the water level before. So I got stuck for, I want, no joke, felt like 30 minutes just opening doors and pushing the same block that wouldn't push. And I wrote in my note, this is how confused I got, because I didn't want to look up a guide, because I felt like I could love this dungeon, like, because no one would love it. There's a room that kicks you out of the temple. I found out later that was the entrance. I thought that was just a room that kicked you out. That was just a mean room. And then I wrote later, super lost, frowny face. And then, okay, so eventually I looked up a guide. And the guide, I had to watch the guide all the way through to try and figure it out. You had to sink to all the way to the bottom, go through a room with unlit torches, take off the iron boots, float all the way up to the top, and then play the Zelda's Lullaby, boo boo boo, boo boo boo, and then that would decrease the water level, and then you gotta go through all the rigmarole. I don't... There's a magic spell you can have that you just place, and that will teleport you like wherever, but I don't know where that is. Well, eventually you navigate all the way to like this area with waterfalls, and you got, This is the coolest part of the dungeon. Like waterfall. And then there's platforms coming down off a waterfall. And you got a platform over to a locked door. And like imagine not getting all that way and there's no keys. Or you don't have a key to that door. And then I wrote torches not lit. You gotta light them. That's pretty much the whole dungeon. Then you gotta fight a bunch of clams. And then I also like this part where you gotta like take your hook shot, and you got hook shot from like statue to statue, and then on this one statue you got a hook shot onto, and like hit a button and then climb up, and then like the head raises up. Then you go into like a room with a lake you can't iron boots through, and in the middle is like a tree, and then in front of the tree like Dark Link appears. Ooh. And he's the mini boss. I thought he was gonna be the final boss. Or not the final boss, the dungeon boss. Why'd I say it like that? And not really sure why he did this, but I just kept slashing forward, and he kept like doing backflips, and every time my sword would like plunge forth, like he would freeze in midair, and he would be like, oh. I don't know. It was a strange fight. But he didn't really give me much trouble. And then the entire room would like fade. Turn out to be like a dream or something. I don't know. That was a cool room too, I guess. And then you get the long shot. I wasn't expecting the hook shot to be upgraded. I guess, like, I didn't want to say it. You know, everyone says the hook shot's like the coolest, and when I got the hook shot, I was like, man, kind of lame, kind of lame. But you know, the long shot's pretty cool, or cooler than the hook shot. So then, this room was pretty neat. You jump down, and then you gotta swim along a stream, and it's not, I wrote, not just a lazy river. You can't just bob along. You gotta use the iron boots and the long shot to get a sculptula on the wall, and then you gotta like iron boot, take it off, take it on. And there's like whirlpools trying to pull you along. And then you gotta like climb up, use your bow to hit stuff, and then eventually you make your way into a room with boulders being flung into the water, and Tektite. There are Tektites everywhere in this dungeon. Feels like whenever you kill like two more appear. I do not like. They're like little white water spiders, but they're mean, and they just knock you into the water. And then, I feel like that's the room with, like, a sculptula, and it's behind the waterfall. Then you go into a room with a U, and there's a boulder behind a bombable wall, and then you bomb the wall, and then there's another bombable wall, and you bomb that one. And then I was pulling the block the wrong way. I thought you had to like step on the button and then swim up, climb on the block, and then get to the door, but you had to put the block on the button. But this dungeon made me learn Zelda's Lullaby with how many times I played it. This is a crazy dungeon. Finally, you make your... I like skipped a whole lot, but this is a crazy dungeon. Finally, you make your way to the boss, and there's like floor masters all on the floor. And I was like, man, how do I make my way up there? The floor is slippery, and there's floor masters all over. Do I have to iron boots my way up? And I'm like, goom, 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 goom. And I was walking up with iron boots, and then the floor master's like slicing me open. And then I'm like, no, I must iron boots and long shot. And I'm like, well, there's nothing to long shot. And I'm like, well, I must take these out with bombs. And I'm like, no, they are immune to bombs. What must I do? And I'm looking at the guide, and they're like, oh, all you gotta do is run up this side and avoid the floor masters. And I was like super overcomplicating just walking to the door. So when you walk to the door, the boss is just a Gulix named Morpha. And I came in there with a fairy, and they were just like a water... Well, they're just like a red thing that lives in water. And they like slime around in the water, and they got like watery tentacles that come at you. And I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. Like the watery tentacles come at you, and then you hook shot like the brain heart thing, and then you slash at it. I've only gotten like one slash at it, and it hops back into the pool. And then, like, that's the whole fight. it wasn't really much of a fight. It was like, you know how you're trying to like scoop things out of a pool? Like leaves and stuff? You know, you scoop, or you're trying to scoop like a beach ball out of a pool, and you scoop it out, and then, you know, it falls back in. That's what it felt like. Every time I tried to scoop it out with the hook shot, I would poke at it with the Master Sword, and then it would fall back in. My notes say it was very slippery and a jerk. Which is basically the whole fight. I died once with the fairy, and then I died again, but I had the fairy. Then you beat him, he like kinda evaporates, and then Princess Mifa's like, here you go. Sorry for making you wait 7 years. And then the lake refills, and Sheik is there, and she jumps into the lake. And then that's the whole water temple. So what did I think of that? The other temples, like, I now feel like I was too hard on them. I feel like they were, or my gripes with them were like nitpicks. Like, I wanted to love this temple. I genuinely did. But when, like, at the end of this game, when I'm done playing it, I want to do like a ranking, and I do not I do not want to rank this one high, like, compared to, like, I thought the like, I keep going back and forth on the Forest Temple. You know how I said, oh, the Clown Temple, oh, and then but now after this, I'm like, oh, well, you know, that at least that one had a, you know, it kept you amused. You know, it was like a fun house. You know, it was good. It didn't it didn't pull you around for like 3 hours. Like, this one had Dark Link, but I don't know. I don't know. Well, what will be next? That's the question. That's the question you gotta answer now. I believe we're going to Gerudo Town. I'm going to double down and say the Mirror Shield's still next. What temple? I'm not sure. Temple of Light. I know. Is there a Temple of Light? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But thank you for watching. Thank you for Ocarina Inc. See ya next time for whatever it is.